Hi Dave, how are you doing, brother?
Good morning, Luke. How are you?
I'm awesome, man. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to discuss your experience of going through the ARC system, brother. So, could you maybe just start off with telling us a little bit about you? So, how long have yourself and Alice been together, and what was the situation you were facing before you enrolled in the ARC system?
About 6 months ago, my wife was extremely cold, and I was trying to force her to give me some answers of what was on her mind. And she kind of broke down and said that infamous, she loves me, but she's not sure about our marriage, and she's not happy in the marriage, and just needs some time to think about what she wants to do. And that hit me like a big brick in the head, and I panicked. I wanted to fix everything right there, and I didn't know what was going on. I was lost. I wanted to
Sure.
fix it, and I didn't know how to fix it.
Okay. And what were you trying to fix it?
Oh, I did everything from the straightening up the house, grab everything for her, and making sure she didn't have to lift a finger. Um, Kind of that feeling of walking on eggshells around her, and I didn't want to upset her, and I didn't know how to bring her out of her thought process.
Sure. Okay. And were any of these things helping cleaning up around the house more, or were you making any progress with that?
It just seemed like it was pushing her further and further away.
Okay.
And I started
Gotcha.
looking at videos on the YouTube stuff, and I was I was lost. I nothing seemed to help.
Okay. Gotcha. And then we met each other. And were there any hesitations from your side before you came into the ARC system?
Um, yeah, I guess I was kind of concerned because I was trying to, well, for one, I didn't want her knowing that I was going to seek help to fix her, and so I
Yeah.
was trying to keep it as secret as possible. And then, investing in it was a concern. Putting money into a program that, I was so lost. I didn't know. I knew I was desperate. I needed something. So
Yeah.
just take a big leap right there to jump in and make the investment, and it's paying off.
Okay. And so help me understand, because you're saying you felt hopeless. What was it then that made you then go for it? Because some men that are hopeless, they just give up and then they lose their marriage. This hasn't been your case. You felt hopeless. You were looking for a solution and you had the courage to go for it and enroll in the ARC system, or apply for the ARC system. So what was it for you that made you take that step?
It was definitely a leap of faith.
Okay.
I had I had visions of fixing everything, and I prayed on it. I
Yeah.
prayed like crazy, and it came to me that this was the program that was meant for me, and
Okay.
definitely God steered me in the right direction.
Wonderful. I'm very glad to hear that. And so what made you then choose? So you already told us a little bit there about you got the feeling, your gut feeling and from your prayers. But was there anything else that made you choose the ARC system? Because you were searching on YouTube, you're doing the usual thing, what most guys do, trying to find a solution. What made you go for the ARC system rather than some of the other programs that are out there, or a therapist or a counselor?
I did that free program that you have offered on YouTube, and I also did a couple other ones too. And
Okay.
yours set me up to where it wasn't any pressure. I felt the other ones were more focused on the monetary reimbursements back to them, and
Okay.
I didn't feel that with your free program. And again, just being comfortable going into something I don't know what to do,
Sure.
and your program set me up for that.
Okay. Very glad to hear that. So share with me a little bit, and then how was your experience of going through the ARC system? Man? So you're in it now at this point. You're in it just over 2 months. You've had a few breakthroughs. That's why we're having the call today, because we were going to share the amazing progress you've made. But so how would you describe your experience of going through the ARC system?
Right off the bat, I felt motivated. You set up this handbook that we all have to kind of go through in steps, and it wasn't a whole bunch of information all at once. You have to go through the steps, and each step leads into the next, achievement for me personally. And looking at myself rather than trying to fix her was the biggest, motivator. And I caught that right off the bat, that this is for me to get something out of her. But I realized that I'm not trying to fix her. I'm trying to fix me and be the best person I am. And step by step, it's working.
Wonderful. Okay. What would, like, if you think about the three specific benefits that you got, if you can like think of three things that like would, you'd summarize that you've gotten out of the program, you've gained, what would they be?
Uh, right off the bat, I'd say slowing down. My mind was going a mile a minute, and again, trying to fix her, but slowing down and taking a look at me and seeing the faults that I've had and stuff that I needed. I would definitely say leading into that, focusing on me helped me every minute of the day and fall
Okay.
back on the workbook. And then another big one was stop chasing her. That was huge. And
Awesome.
it's showing that it's working.
Wonderful. Okay. And would you tell me, we haven't talked about this before, but I'd love to know what's it been like going through this with the other ARC legends? So with the Brotherhood, having that community there.
That's huge because I'm somewhat isolated where I'm at right now. We made a huge move to another state a year and a half ago, and I haven't gathered any friends or camaraderie with anybody. And these guys are no BS at all. They're just like me. They have nothing to lose by voicing their opinions,
Yeah.
telling you how it helped them. And yeah, there's quite a few of the guys that I've reached out to, and now I'm in that point where I'm reaching out to the newer guys coming on, and
Sure.
it's a definitely tit for tat.
Big time.
I'm giving back, and that's what
Yeah.
I want to continue doing, and I will continue to.
Yeah. I love to see it. The momentum in the group is incredible. The way you guys support each other and cheer each other on, it's absolutely wonderful. And is there a particular piece of advice that you got from someone else in the group? If you want, you can also say their name, if there's, or the particular person that you really connected with in the group that helped you, or was there a particular piece of advice that you got that you can remember now where you're like, okay, that was like gold dust that maybe you'd like to share with any of the men that are watching this video today?
I would say I had some resistance stepping out first, to
Yeah.
ask questions.
Yeah.
Again, you feel like you're the only one in the world that's going through this, and you start seeing that, hey, these guys are very similar in character and actions and everything. So I reached out to Oz, and he he he's awesome. He just said it right off the bat, and he's not trying to sugarcoat anything. He just came right out and said, "Stick to the program," and
Yeah.
I took that to heart, and it's working.
You certainly did, man. I want to really give you kudos here. You're the nice guy, and a lot of the nice guys come in there in emotional state, like they're struggling. And the first thing we do in the ARC system is to get you grounded, and like you said, relaxed, calm, and focused before you move through the rest of the self mastery. And so I want to give you kudos, man. You came in. I haven't had a guy come in like you, where you just like you stuck to those directives religiously. So it was incredible, and it's paid dividends. You'd have a question, you'd answer it, and I still remember on the calls, you'd be like, "Yes, sir, done," and you followed through to a T man. So it's incredible because I haven't seen a nice guy flip from that state of, because when you came in, you were feeling quite a lot of panic and anxiety, right?
Huge anxiety was overwhelming me. Now I never had that before,
Yeah.
and man, to empathize with her through her anxiety through the years was a huge step as well. And then
Okay.
tapping gets me out of that stuff in a heartbeat.
Wonderful.
I question,
Wonderful.
or I questioned it. I was like, I don't know about this, and as soon as you get to it and you need it, I don't care if I'm in the truck in the middle of the store. I'll start tapping, and it gets me right out of it. So
Wonderful, man. I'm glad that you got that tool in your rucksack now. So yeah, that's wonderful, man. The way you flipped from that state so quickly from being anxious to being empowered, man. That happened within like 2 or 3 weeks. It was incredible that you really just decided, no, I'm going to focus on the program, and you stuck through it, man, and it was incredible. So well done, man. Could you think about then maybe one thing that you've learned from going to the ARC system that isn't explicitly taught from the system, something that you picked up either maybe from one of the other guys or just
I think a huge thing is that this isn't an overnight fix. It's not an overnight. And I'm a let's get it done. Let's move on,
yeah,
and put it behind us. And slowing down and seeing that this isn't an overnight fix. This is a long-term fix. Um, and it kind of touches base with with the program about that, but I think identifying that for me, slowing it down and making this a long-term is a relief for me, because
wonderful.
I need to apply that in other things in my life as well.
Yeah. And how beneficial was it? Because you're saying it's not a quick fix, and you're right. I mean, you yourself and Alice have been married 20 years together, and most of the guys that have come into the program are married also over 10 years. And so thinking that you're just going to turn it around like that within whatever a few weeks, it can happen. I mean, in your case, you're turning it around now, and you're only 2 months in, but you understand that it's a process and it takes time. So, what would you say? So, what was the main what was the benefit for you coming in now? So you're in the program just over 2 months, and looking back, you didn't realize the bumps in the road. I talk about the bumps in the road you're going to hit, which all you guys, you get to see you hit some bumps in the road, and you get to see the other guys hitting those bumps in the road. How much did it help being in the group and having that the coaching and the other guys there to help you navigate that, those the surprises that come in that you didn't know were going to hit until you were actually in the program, but you're already in the program, you had the support system there. How beneficial was that for you, Dave?
Absolutely huge. I mean, our once a week calls, um, it, it it's like having a doctor's appointment for good news once a week. And I look forward to it. It's early. It's super early for me because we're all over the globe. But I look forward to it, and if even if I don't have anything to contribute, just to be able to listen and connect with the guys, to listen and empathize with them. It's almost like a practice,
Yeah,
empathy with them and feeling for them, and throwing comments in for it. It's a pattern that fixes and helps me in my relationships. So
yeah,
it's
wonderful,
great.
man. You guys are amazing, and I love the high energy. And like you said, you're getting up early. Your central time. I know we got guys getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning. We got guys who are up, so staying up until 1 o'clock in the morning. So you guys are amazing. It really, I love being able to show up and serve you guys every week. And it's just wonderful energy that we have in the group. All right, then, Dave. Maybe then, as we get to the end of this interview and your testimony, you could share with me then a little bit, like, how has your life changed since you've gone through the ARC system? What have been the big wins for you?
I would say that one of the big wins is just feeling comfortable in my own skin, not having to worry about what everybody else is thinking or trying to impress. I've identified myself, and I'm excited about taking these steps for myself, and others will follow. And when you
Wonderful.
get trapped into a relationship that all you're constantly doing is making sure that you're not rocking the boat, it's
Yeah.
okay to rock the boat.
Yes.
It's great
Yeah.
to say no.
Yeah.
As a nice guy, I never said no,
Yeah.
and I do. It's exhilarating. It's great. It's a good feeling.
Wonderful. And for anybody watching this, you're going to notice how Dave talks about himself. Like everybody is so focused on doing the inner work that you guys detach from the external, which is incredible, because this is the most important thing is yourself, Dave. And you've come such a long way from all these changes that you've made, brother. Because when you came into the program, she said she was done. She wasn't in love with you. There was no chance of getting back together. So from all these changes that you've made, man, what's the status between yourself and Alice then currently?
We're doing the full separation. We sold our house. We've got our own little houses now. I'm almost moved out, and we're gonna take our old marriage, and I've already explained it to her. That's over. That's done. we're going to work on something new. So we're looking forward to, and I'm looking forward to a new relationship. And there was a point where she didn't even want to start dating after we do this physical separation. And she's engaged now. She's looking forward to going out on dates and working on a new relationship. And
Wonderful.
I
Wonderful.
knew her, so I think it's a good road ahead of us.
Wonderful. And how does it feel to, like, you're only in the program 2 months, to have gone from that where your anxiety and you said you felt hopeless, and her refusing to work in the marriage and saying she sees no future, to now her saying that she wants to date you again, is engaged and want to work on creating this new, more intimate marriage after 20 years, brother? How does that feel?
It's huge. It's a, wake up in the morning and feel like you have something to accomplish for the day, rather than just sit and sulk and well about old activities and stuff like that. I mean, the
Yeah.
past is the past. Can't
Yeah.
control that, but I can control today.
Okay. And for somebody that's coming into the program that was in the same situation, so if you imagine talking to yourself 2 months ago, whenever, just was as you were coming into the program, what would be like the one piece of advice you'd give yourself or to somebody that's in the same situation as you, the nice guy, the wife's completely checked out, no future? What would be the one piece of advice you'd give yourself for that person?
Right off the bat, I'd say slow down,
Yeah.
slow down, and take your time to refocus on your own activities and your own efforts.
Hmm.
And just identifying that would help somebody right off the bat. Slow down and take the advice
Okay.
and that you provide, which is huge.
Wonderful, Dave. Okay. And final question for somebody that's currently sitting on the fence, watching this video and like, should I go for it? So I'm struggling in my marriage. Should I go for it? So what, first and foremost, what would you say to them? And then secondly, I'd love to know, what type of man do you think would benefit from the ARC system?
Well, I'm sure a lot of guys are probably like I was, the money investment. And I I really think that you need to invest in yourself and invest for your future. And
Hmm.
once you identify that, the money is no object. That's a piece of cake looking
Yeah.
into it or looking back at it. So don't worry about that. Just slow down, get in the program, and you'll see the benefits. And the benefit, and I'm at a point too, is that if it doesn't work out, I'm still in great shape, and I'm going to have a good relationship with her regardless. And seeing that benefit too, and then that's hard to identify. It's like, what if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't
Yeah.
work? And I
Yeah.
was thinking, I'm going to make this investment. If it doesn't work, then what? I'm not one to make investments and lose.
Yeah.
Identifying
Yeah.
that the win-win regardless.
Yeah. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. I'm glad you brought it up because it is something that I hear every now and then, is this, but what if it doesn't work out? And that's, I've always found that's very short-sighted. Of course, none of us know the future, but you're going to give yourself the best chance by going in and applying a proven process to actually making it happen, right?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay. And so what, final question is, what type of man do you think this ARC system suits best? So what's the problem that there's, facing, and what type of person are they?
I mean, anybody that's going through a difficult time with their marriage and that feeling of hopelessness, this is the program to get into. It regenerates, the good out of you rather than the negative. But you identify the negative, and
Hmm.
you personally can fix that negative, and
Hmm.
you're responsible for it. You're responsible for sticking to the program, taking the steps. I mean, you sit there and bug us about it and say, "Have you?" And I'm like, "Shit, I haven't." I need to get my crap together. So,
That's
just
right, man. That's
you're the
right.
coach. You're the coach, so I'll surrender to that.
Wonderful, man. So yeah, we want action takers in the group, right, brother? We got an amazing group of action takers moving forward. All right. Dave, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day. And I want to wish yourself and Alice the best of luck moving forward. I'm looking forward to continuing working with you over the next coming weeks and months, and increasing that intimacy between yourself and Alice, and working further with you, brother. So thank you so much for taking the time out of your day.
No, I appreciate you. Thanks, man.
Lots of love, man. Bye.
Later.